How's it going, Cheeseburger? Welcome, folks. Welcome. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. As soon as we get a little bit more people in here, we'll get started. If you guys have been following us on Twitter, if you haven't, you'll see that we were a little bit hesitant to see if this was actually confirmed, and it actually has been confirmed. And we'll get into that in just a few minutes as we get more people in here. Alright folks, welcome. My name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. I am the host of this stream, and we're going to get started real quick. We're going to be putting it up on your screen. Just give me a second here. Alright folks, so as you guys might have heard, both on mainstream media, on social media and stuff like that, Hope Hicks, which is the communications director, has indeed resigned. According to the president, she is going to be moving on and going to doing something else, something new. And the president said, you know what, good luck. We loved having you, and we hope nothing but good for you in your future endeavors, or however they say when you get fired. I never been fired from a job, so I really don't know what bosses say when they fire you. I don't know. But Hope Hicks is moving on, and there's a statement regarding Hope Hicks' departure from Press Secretary Sarah Sanders. And it says, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders has passed along the following statement in response to the questions about the resignation of White House Communications Director Hope Hicks. And according to President Trump said, quote, "Hope is outstanding and has done great work for the last 3 years. She is as smart and thoughtful as they come, a truly great person, and I will miss having her by my side. But when she approached me about pursuing other opportunities, I totally understood. I am sure that we will work together again in the future." Okay, keep that in mind. I am sure we will work together again in the future. Something is coming, folks. I'm telling you right now, something is coming in the future. And Hope Hicks is going to have a very pivotal role in that. But let's just leave it at that. Chief of Staff John Kelly actually confirmed and said, quote, "When I became Chief of Staff, I quickly realized what so many have learned about Hope is that she is strategic, poised, and wise beyond her years. She became a trusted advisor and counselor, as did a tremendous job overseeing the communications for President Trump's agenda, including the passage of historic tax reform. She has served her country with great distinction, and to say that she will be missed is an understatement." So Hope Hicks actually did put out a statement, and she said, quote, "There are no words to adequately express my gratitude to President Trump. I wish the president and the administration the very best as he continues to lead our country." So this is a little bit of additional background information from the White House. And the first thing is that White House Communications Director Hope Hicks is leaving the White House after serving the president for 3 years. Hope is the president's longest serving aide, having worked with him before he had his candidacy. It says through the campaign and into a second year of the administration. After 3 years, she approached the president and told him that she wanted to leave so she could start exploring opportunities outside the White House. Her role involved what is initially considered to be an unconventional press and communications aide to formally being announced as White House Communications Director in the summer of 2017. It says that in this position, Hope has led strategic messaging for administration priorities such as historic passage of tax reform and worked with Press Secretary Sarah Sanders to stabilize the press and communication teams after initial phases of transition. Hope is a valued advisor and counselor to the president and other senior administration officials. Her exact departure is to be determined, but it will be sometime in the next few weeks. So usually it takes like maybe 2-3 weeks for anyone that is resigning at a certain time for them to actually leave the White House. Unless you're like Omarosa, where you were like escorted out the White House because you went crazy. But most of the aides say, you know what, we're going to be leaving after 2-3 weeks. Sean Spicer did that. He said, you know what, I'm going to leave at the end of the month. And then, you know, other people said, you know, we're leaving within 2 weeks, like Gorka and other people that have resigned or stepped down or whatever you want to call it. So those are 3 of the comments, one made by the president, one made by the chief of staff, John Kelly, and Hope Hicks herself. So she's definitely leaving the White House. There is something that I want to show you guys real quick. I'm going to be putting it up on your screen. Let me go to the chat real quick and see what you guys are saying before we do that. So hold on, let me put it up on your screen first. I'm actually going to be putting up the chat on the screen. I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but let's see here. All right, so let me put this on the... All right, so I wanted to show you guys something real quick. I came about this earlier when I was looking up some stuff regarding Hope Hicks, and I noticed something that was pretty interesting, and someone had done this. Someone had put this and started this thread a while ago, and it's not until now that people are starting to go back to it. And where is it? Oh, here we go. All right, so this thread, it's by someone on Twitter by the name of Conformity Smug. Oh, Comfortably Smug. I'm sorry. I can't even read. Comfortably Smug. That's the name of the person that this thread. And this thread started on the 3rd of August of 2016. And it says, Hope Hicks is sabotaging the Trump campaign from the inside to save America, and journos still haven't figured it out. You see this? Hope Hicks is sabotaging the Trump campaign from the inside to save America, and journos still haven't figured it out. Most people already forgot about this, what this happened, and is one of my top 5 2016 memories will be when Hope Hicks shredded Lewandowski at UES in public. So a lot of people have forgot. I actually forgot about that incident that happened back in 2016, I'm sorry, when Hope Hicks just went crazy on Lewandowski, like threw her hands up in the air and said, you know what, I'm just through with you. It was reported, but it wasn't like a huge thing. They just said, what's going on? There's turmoil within the Trump campaign and this and this. But a lot of onlookers were saying, you know what, this was a very crazy moment. As you guys can see on here, it says onlookers were stunned to see Hope Hicks, 27, hollering at Lewandowski, 42, in plain view of passerbys on 61st Street near Park Avenue. One witness told us Hope was screaming at Corey, "I am done with you." It was ugly. She was doubled over with her fist clenched. He stood there looking shocked with his hands on his head. And again, I remember this. I remember reading about this. I don't think we reported it at the time. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look back at our videos that we have reported on back in 2016. But I remember, getting an email about this and saying, you know what, Hope Hicks went crazy, but it's good to remember this. I completely forgot. And let's see. It says, double down over her fist clench. Goddamn amazing. You think Manafort could stop her? She's going to destroy them all one by one. Again, this person is talking about this since the 3rd of August of 2016. Now, I just want to make sure that I say this. And when it comes to Hope Hicks, I really didn't see her as a threat. I never saw her as a threat. And even until now, I still don't see her as a threat to the Trump administration or to anyone within the administration. Hope Hicks is the type of person that is always doing something in the background. It's not, she doesn't come out and really go in front of the press or talk to the press or does interviews or anything like that. Hope Hicks has been in the news for the last few days because she had to talk to a committee behind closed doors and answer some questions. And according to that committee, regarding yesterday's session and the session before that, is that Hope Hicks was not answering many of the questions that were asked. And they were very angry with her. And that's why they needed another session to ask her even more questions. And in this session, she also did not answer any of the questions. Okay. So that is what's going on with Hope Hicks. From that standpoint, from our standpoint here, we did not see her as a threat to the administration. And we really think that is a really bad idea for her to resign. But at the same time, we need to unearth a bunch of stuff that has been either piled up or forgotten for a very long time, like the Lewandowski incident. Why did that happen? What does she mean by "I'm done with you"? So that is the kind of stuff that we need to go back and look at, how involved or what type of incidents has been surrounded by Hope Hicks. So let's move on this one, because this is this is a very, very interesting thread. There's another one that says, Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen. She neatly crosses out the name Paul J. Manafort. She smiles and turns the page. Again, this is from 2016. This is from 2016, folks. We're going to move on to the next one. It says, Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen. She neatly crosses out the name Michael Flynn. She smiles and turns the page. And this is almost, 4 or 5 months afterwards? When did Michael Flynn... Here, let me put this up real quick. When did Michael Flynn get out of the White House? Maybe you guys can put it on the chat. I'm trying to look it up. When did Michael Flynn exit the White House? Michael Flynn, stunning fall. Let's see here. So it had to be at the beginning, right? If someone knows on the chat, when did Michael Flynn leave the White House? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, so Michael Flynn, it says before February, the January 20th, Michael Flynn interviewed. Michael Flynn resigns National Security Advisor on the 13th of February. I just saw it. Now I missed it. Yeah, so February 13th of this year, of last year, 2017. So yeah, February 13th of 2017, which is the exact same day that this person wrote, Hope Hicks looks down a notebook, crosses out the name Michael Flynn. And on May the 9th, Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen and she neatly crosses out the name James Comey. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen, neatly crosses out the name Donald J. Trump Jr., then smiles and turns the page. July the 10th, 2017. Why is that? Hold on, let's see. July 10, 2017. Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr. Huh. Oh, okay. So that's when the whole thing with the Russian lawyer happened. July 10th, 2017. Trump's son met with Russian lawyer after being promised information on Hillary Clinton. A version of the article appeared on July the 10th, 2017 on the New York Times edition with the headline, Trump team meets with Russian offering dirt on Clinton. So that's what this person is talking about. So they're crossing out Donald Trump. I mean, she's crossing out Donald Trump Jr. on her book regarding the whole Russia lawyer thing. So basically saying, okay, I took out Donald Trump Jr. from the picture. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook and neatly crosses out the name Sean Spicer on the 21st of July, 2017. That is the same day that he actually quit. The day that we actually broke the news that he quit. That's interesting. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook and with a red pen, she neatly crosses out the name Reince Priebus. That is on July the 28th, 2017. And then just 2 days later, she crosses out Anthony Scaramucci. She smiles and turns the page. And then, what is this? Just a couple days after that. Look at this. Okay, so first, the takedown of Donald Trump Jr. when it comes to being involved in the White House, crossed off. Just a few days later, I'm going to say 12 days later, Sean Spicer, gone. Reince Priebus, 7 days later, gone. Anthony Scaramucci, within hours, actually, gone. And then here comes Steve Bannon. These are all within days. Look at this. July the 31st, 2017. August the 18th, 2017. All of these people got taken down within days, folks. It was this is some crazy stuff. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen. She neatly crosses out the name Stephen K. Bannon. She smiles and turns the page. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen. She neatly crosses out the name Sebastian Gorka on the 25th of August. That is just days after Bannon is gone. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook and with the red pen, she crosses out the name Tom Price. She smiles and turns the page on September the 29th, 2017. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook and with the red pen, she crosses out the name Omarosa. And with the smile, she turns the page on December the 13th, 2017. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook with a red pen. She neatly crosses out the name Rob Porter. She smiles and turns the page. So, the thing about Rob Porter is that they were actually in a relationship. I don't know if it was public or not, or I don't know if the White House knew or not. But most companies, and I would think that the White House was also one of those places that in a job, you're not allowed to date anyone that you work with. I know that when I worked at my previous job for 7 years, I knew 100%. It was in the rules that you were not allowed to hold a relationship, an open relationship with anyone that you worked with, a coworker. They couldn't be in the same department as you. And I would think that it would also apply to the White House, because I know it applies to at least 80% of jobs out there, companies that you could work for. But who knows? Maybe it doesn't apply to the White House. I have no idea. It's crazy stuff. Hope Hicks looks down at her notebook 9 minutes ago. Hope, General Kelly calls walking to her desk. POTUS needs to see you. As she leaves, he picks up the notebook and begins reading. With a red pen, neatly writes down the name Hope Hicks. He smiles and turns the page. That's crazy stuff, folks. And this is Hope Hicks. That is pretty crazy stuff. Now, how much of a reality is there to all of this? I don't know, but you have to really think about it. A lot of these people left at almost at the exact same time, one after the other, just boom, 1, 2, 3, and she's pretty much one of the last people to leave the White House of the original ones that came in on January the 20th, 2017. So she's one of the last surviving ones from the original team. And now it's basically all of them are new, that, unless they were confirmed at a later time, then they're still there. But something else that I also wanted to show you guys is kind of like a biography of Hope Hicks, to really get to know who she is. According to this is a married biography, but it really isn't. It just gives you a little bit of, of a background on Hope Hicks without the leftist spin. But as of right now, she's 29 years old. She was born on October the 21st, 1988. So she is the exact same age I am. She's only like hours younger than me. She's a Libra. She's from Greenwich, Connecticut. She's 5'8", 5'8". She makes around $180,000 a year. She has a net worth of $200,000, so basically what she makes in a year. She's American Jewish by ethnicity, and her hair is brown, her eyes are hazel, and all that stuff. She is not married, nor does she currently hold a boyfriend, which is not true, because remember Rob Porter, they had a relationship thing going on. She is mostly private about her relationship status, managed to keep her personal life out of the mainstream media. There are reports that she ended a 6-year relationship with her boyfriend when she started working for President Trump. And we're talking about when she started working at the Trump organization, because she worked with Ivanka Trump, doing modeling and helping Ivanka Trump with her website of her clothing line. Later on, she came onto the job of a kind of like communications director at the Trump organization. And that's when President Trump came up to her and told her, hey, you know what? I'm planning to run for president, and I want you to be my press secretary. You heard it right, folks. She was the original press secretary of the Trump campaign. He wanted her to be in the forefront of the communications within his White House. And we're talking about press secretary, folks. This was going to be the original press secretary, but for some reason, it ended up being Sean Spicer, which he was a communications guy for the Republican National Committee. Okay, I really do not know what happened in that situation, or why he didn't choose Hope Hicks which was going to be his original press secretary. Okay. So it says Hope Hicks was currently a communications director for President Donald Trump. She also served as the press secretary and the early communication director for Trump campaign 2016. She was included on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in January of 2017. Hope Hicks' early life, childhood, and education includes she is from Greenwich, Connecticut, born on October the 21st, 1988. She's a daughter of Kay Ann Hicks and Paul Burton Hicks III. Her father was an executive for Ogilvy, a global marketing and PR agency. So she basically, her family has a PR background. He now heads up marketing at Glover Park Group. In addition to her mother, was also a former aide to a Democratic congressman. So does she come from a Democrat background? Who knows? During her childhood, she was a model, actress, and lacrosse player. She became a teenage model, including for Ralph Lauren, with her older sister Mary Grace at age 11. She holds the American nationality and belongs to the North American Jewish ethnic background. She now heads up marketing. He now heads up marketing at Glover Park Group. In addition, I guess they screwed it up here. During her childhood, they screwed up really bad. You see, look at this. Whoever wrote this screwed up really bad. So let me move on here. Okay, so Hope attended the Greenwich High School. There was where she was co-captain of the lacrosse team. She graduated in 2006. Later, she attended the Southern Methodist University, majored in English, and played lacrosse on the club lacrosse program that she helped start. She graduated in 2010. So it says initially, Hope started in public relations with the New York firm Zeno Group. Next, she started working in public relations with the firm Hicks Strategies. Her big break came after she joined the Trump Organization full-time in August of 2014, where she worked with Ivanka Trump inside Trump Tower. At age 26, President Trump embarked Hope for the role of press secretary in January 2015. She had no political experience prior to the Trump campaign. She took dictation from President Trump for his tweets. Furthermore, she did not intend on playing such a large role in the presidential campaign. In the campaign, she played the role of gatekeeper and helped the press members who wanted to speak with President Trump. Later, it was announced that Hope will become part of the Trump administration on December the 22nd, 2016. So another thing that Hope Hicks did while she was kind of like the press secretary, communications director of the campaign was that she handpicked who is the one that is going to get access to the president from the press. So every single interview or profile or anything like that, maybe a special with a news organization, it all had to go through Hope Hicks first. She handpicked the people that were going to be able to have access to the president or interview the president on any matter. And according to some press, they were saying that Hope Hicks ruled it with an iron fist. They really had to have a good, a good reason why they wanted to interview the president or under what circumstances, what were they going to ask and stuff like that. And we really have to go back and see who was the one that got more favorability when it comes to access to the president. Was it the New York Times? Was it the Washington Post? Was it Fox News? Was it CNN? Who was the one that got most of the interviews during the 2016 presidential election? Someone has to go back and look at that, because that can say a lot regarding Hope Hicks and what type of person she was. Okay, what was her main objective within the Trump campaign back in 2016? So let's see, became prominent White House. So she became a part of the Trump administration on December 22nd, 2016. Recently, on August 16th, 2017, she was made the interim White House communications director. And on September the 12th, 2017, she became the permanent White House communications director. As part of her political works, Hope also appeared on the cover of Gossip Girl series Offshoot. Additionally, she was also tapped as the face of Hourglass Adventures, which is a set of novels about a time-traveling 10-year-old. She also did a cameo on Guiding Light. I have no idea what that is. Hope's salary from the Trump Organization was $71,000 a year. Furthermore, she earned $141,000 working for the Trump campaign and earned $21,830 while working for the Trump transition team. She has an estimated worth of $200,000. So that's basically her salary a year, and that's kind of like what she was earning as a communications director. Well, she would have earned if she would have, worked a full year as a communications director, is around $160,000 to $180,000. So according to this website, it says Hope Hicks rumors and controversies. There was a rumor that Hope might be dating Corey Lewandowski. This is something that I wanted to talk about, but I really don't know how people are going to take it. Now, when it comes to dating, and this is back to what I was telling you guys regarding, dating at the workplace, there's a lot of companies and a lot of organizations that will fire you if you if they find out that you're dating a guy or a woman, or a woman's dating a woman, a guy is dating a guy at a job. What they would normally do is say, hey, you know what? We need to open an investigation with human resources, and we need to get to the bottom of this. And you guys either need to one of you needs to quit, or we'll fire both of you. That is what normally happens, and that's what where I work. That's what would happen. It's like if you go out with someone or have a relationship with someone that you work with in the same department, both of you guys will be fired. Now, I really do not know why this doesn't apply to the White House. It makes no sense to me. That is a liability, folks. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Is that a liability for two people within the administration to be dating each other while working at the White House? Is that a liability? Should that happen? Should there be a rule that says no dating your coworkers? Because we don't want the problems, we don't want the drama, especially at the White House, where the mainstream media are like rabid dogs trying to find anything to start a scandal. It's just, it makes no sense to me why this was allowed to happen. First with Corey Lewandowski, and then with Rob Porter. It's been twice. I really do not know when this was written, but it's been done twice. But let's move on. It says there was a rumor that Hope Hicks was dating Corey Lewandowski, the former campaign manager of Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. She also became part of several controversies after it was reported that Corey Lewandowski regularly screamed at her, bringing her to tears on more than one occasion. Furthermore, several other controversies regarding Trump's presidency has been directly and indirectly linked to Hope's career. In addition, she became subject to recent news after her Twitter account was suspended after a mass reporting. So that's not really her fault. Like, if they're mass reporting her Twitter account, that's not her fault. So how is that a controversy when it comes to Hope Hicks? I don't understand it. But the part where Corey Lewandowski and Rob Porter, them being in a relationship or, alleged relationship with Hope Hicks, is not a good thing, folks. It's just not. I don't understand. Bill dated Monica. That's funny. I don't understand what the hell's going on. I don't understand what's going on. What's this people telling me not to say something? She dated two married men, Porter and Lewandowski. Oh, Lewandowski's married? I didn't know that. All right, hold on, let's see. Corey Lewandowski. Oh, yeah, he is married. I did not know that. That's interesting. Allison Lewandowski is the wife of Corey Lewandowski. And then Rob Porter, let's see. Rob Porter's not married. So if it is true that she did date Corey Lewandowski, then yes, it was as an affair. But like I said, that they put that as alleged, or maybe, or it's not confirmed. But Rob Porter was not married, and that's the reason, because of the ex-wives. That's the reason why, the scandal started. So he's not married as of right now. All right, so this thing goes on to saying Hope Hicks body measurements. I don't know why no, we're just going to skip that because that's stupid. Hope Hicks social media. Hope Hicks is active on social media. She doesn't have a Facebook page. In addition, she is not active on Instagram as well. Twitter recently suspended her account. And yeah, so is her account with Twitter still suspended? I wonder. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's still suspended. Yep, you can't even link to it. So yeah, we're gonna go to Twitter real quick just to see what else is going on in the Twitterverse regarding Hope Hicks. Right now, she's trending, and a lot of people are like talking a lot, bringing up a lot of old stuff. So let's see what we can dig up. Hope Hicks resigns. We know that. Let's see. Hope Hicks leaves White House Communication Director in the New York Times. Hope Hicks resigns White House Communication Director. Hope Hicks resigns. White House Communication Director resigns. Trump's right-hand woman resigns just one day after testifying in front of the House Intelligence Committee and admitting to telling little white lies to the behest of the Trump administration. White House Communication Director. So yeah, according to people that were at that session when the Intelligence Committee was interviewing her or asking her questions, according to them, according to the Democrats that were in that room, she said that on certain occasions she did tell white lies, both to the president and to other people within the administration and the campaign transition team and stuff like that. She said that she did actually tell little white lies. I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to that. The press secretary and people from the administration have not said anything about it. So who knows? Hope Hicks has been able to spin every White House scandal except her own. That's what this person is saying. The White House lie. Hope Hicks, she's getting done. Most likely when Trump asks for loyalty from Trump Inc., she's going to flip along with Porter. Okay, so look, this is the leftist spin that people are putting out. And this has come up more than once and by different people talking about cell phone tapes and stuff from Air Force One. Now, is that possible? Most definitely could be possible. It could be possible that President Trump's tapes are going to be leaked at some point. Maybe not now, maybe not in the year, maybe not in the first in the first term, maybe going into the second term. I don't know. But at some point, because of the hatred coming from the mainstream media, that the Trump tapes could be coming out. It's a very, very, very possible scenario. Okay. Now, what are we going to find in those tapes? I'm 100% sure it's not going to be as bad as the Nixon tapes, but there is going to be very interesting to see when the mainstream media, most likely the Washington Post, is going to leak these tapes. I'm telling you that right now. It is going to happen. But is it going to be a scandal? Most likely it's not. Hope Hicks, I'm being paid by the president. I'm not lying about Russia. Blah, blah, blah. Hope Hicks is out. Hold on. Let me see what Breitbart is saying, because they were never really a fan of Hope Hicks. So this one comes from Breitbart.com, and it says that White House Communications Director Hope Hicks is leaving the White House after serving the president for his first 13 months of his administration. It says Hope Hicks, working for the Trump administration, decided to run. Hope Hicks was working for President Trump before he decided to run for president, but transitioned easily to the campaign's political communication and ultimately to the White House. According to the White House, Hicks wanted to explore other opportunities. So this is what Hope Hicks said, and we read about that at the beginning of this stream. President Trump said he totally understood that she wanted to move on, do something else. Chief of Staff also said that he wanted to move on, something else. And she is strategic, poised, and wise beyond her years. It says Hicks is one of the last remaining original Trump employees in the White House that worked with the president before he decided to run for office. His loyal bodyguard, Keith Schleier, resigned in September. His aide, Dan Scaviano, remains in charge of social media. So Dan Scaviano is very good, especially when it comes to like Twitter and Instagram. He's very good keeping updated on pictures and stuff like that, behind the scenes kind of stuff. So I thought there was going to be a lot more like more how should I say this, a little bit more insight from Breitbart and personal opinion or opinion from Breitbart when it comes to Hope Hicks, but there's just really just saying exactly what everybody else is saying. So I thought there was going to be a lot more of a thing where they're saying, oh, Hope Hicks did this or she did that, or back in blah, 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 she did this. Pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, so as of right now, all the information is basically the same, that she is leaving and that she resigned, and the push from the mainstream media is always going to be the same, that the Trump White House is in turmoil, that the Trump White House is in chaos and stuff like that. So it's always going to be the same exact spin over and over and over and over again. So you guys are going to definitely hear about this for the next week. The mainstream media did not have anything to report on this week. They were, they were in chaos themselves. They were in turmoil themselves because they didn't have anything to spin this week. So it looks like their schedule has just been completely booked, and it's going to be Hope Hicks from now until probably next Monday. So just be prepared to hear nothing but Hope Hicks did this, or she did that, or the Trump campaign is in turmoil, or the Trump campaign is in chaos and stuff like that. So that's going to be going on for the next, this person says 72 hours, which I do not think it's going to happen. This is going to go on until Monday, until they find something else to talk about, and then they're going to spin that for the next week. So every single week, there's always one thing that they clench on, and then they, spin it and go over and over and over on the same exact thing ad nausea for one whole week. And then Monday comes around, or Sunday comes around again, they find another narrative, and then they push that for the following week. And they've been doing that for the last 13 months. And yeah, so pretty crazy stuff, folks. So let's see, how long have we been streaming? Almost an hour. So in the next 15 minutes, we're going to see what we can maybe dig up a little bit more on Hope Hicks. And if it's just basically all the exact same thing, we'll be calling it a day. Let's see how many people are on the chat right now. Let's see how many people are on the chat. All right, so we got a good turnout. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So let's see what else we can find real quick before we call it. Before we shut down. Let's see. She's smart, thoughtful. Yeah, we know that. That's what he said. The photos of Hope still look their TV show, White House, instead of the real thing, because Hope is way too beautiful to be working in D.C. She obviously doesn't know this, though, since she has been dating dime store thugs like Lewandowski and Porter. Look at this. That's funny. The photos of Hope Hicks all look like they're from a TV show about the White House instead of the real thing. Because Hicks is way too beautiful to be working in DC, she obviously doesn't know this, though she has been dating dime store thugs. That's what he's calling them, dime store thugs like Lewandowski and Porter. This is Hope Hicks. Hope Hicks is 28. She never should have had that job. 28? She's 29. Right? If you're from 1988, you're 29. Am I right? Or am I a year after? Or am I a year older than I think I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. All right, so breaking... that's funny. Breaking. Hope Hicks lands 007 lead in new Bond movie. That's funny. Let's see what else. Hope Hicks quakes the White House. What is this? This is too small. You can't even read it. What's going on with this? Let me see what you guys are saying on social media. Thanks, Brian, for modding. Hope is really... Hope comments on Bannon. What do you mean about Hope's comments on Bannon? Let's see. Hope Hicks comments on Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon thinks Ivanka, Hope Hicks don't know what they're doing. Hicks acknowledges white lies. Let's see here. Hope Hicks draws lines. Russia testimony. Hope Hicks refuses to answer questions. Let's see. Hope Hicks, Steve Bannon. Hope Hicks. No. I think we have to go like really far down on the Hope Hicks to serve as communications director. Now we got Bannon. Let's see. Hope Hicks not answering questions. Blah 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 blah. What did Hope Hicks do or say about Bannon? I don't know. I'm trying to find it, but I can't find anything. 331, 328, 327. What are we talking about here? She's turning 30 this year. I know, that's what I was saying. So she's 29. She's not 28. Guys, no, this is not. Okay, so let's move on here. Let's see. I'm trying to find out what Hope Hicks said about Steve Bannon that people are talking about. I don't know. Oh, so that's what people were talking about. Yeah, like this other thing that I was doing right here, giving a little bit of a background on Hope Hicks. It went down to a thing that said about her, Hope Hicks body measurements. Like, it really doesn't mean anything. To be honest with you, who cares about that stuff? So I was not going to cover it. And I'm pretty sure there are, pictures on Google about Hope Hicks in a bikini. To be honest with you, that doesn't really matter. Like, that's just useless information. We're trying to see if she was a good person in the campaign or in the administration, or if she was an infiltrator in the administration. We need to get to the bottom of that. Like, what type of person was she? Like, was she part of the leaks that were coming out of the White House? Was she not? That is the important information. Her measurements and her pictures of bikinis really doesn't matter. But yeah, folks, so it looks like all of the same exact thing over and over and over again. I don't think there's any more information. We're going to be digging up a little bit more into the background of Hope Hicks and what she did during the transition and the 2016 campaign to see if we can dig up anything that would be a red flag and would actually be a good thing that she left the White House instead of a bad thing. As of right now, where we stand is, I think it's a mistake for her to leave the White House, because of the optics. But if she was someone that was trying to work against the Trump administration, but in a disguise that she is for the administration, then it's a very good thing that she left. But that's something that we need to look back and see what she has done in the 13 months that she has been working for the Trump campaign and going into her job in the White House for the last, 3-4 months. So we have to see what's going on with that. Okay, so look at this. This is pretty interesting. All right, so this person by the name of, I guess, Ben, I don't know, said something that was very interesting. And this is something that we're going to be uploading in just a few minutes. That's why I need to shut this down. But it says, the Hope Hicks announcement was no accident. It came right after President Trump said guns should be taken away without due process. That is half the truth. What President Trump said is that if someone is red flagged as someone that might be a danger to himself or to society, the guns should be taken away from them until the due process is done. Once the due process is done, then the guns, if that person's not a threat, the guns can be given back to that person. Okay? Now, that's a double-edged sword. Okay? That's a double-edged sword. That is a bad deal for the government. And it's a bad deal for the person. It's a bad deal for the government because what if they find out that this person is dangerous? They say, okay, you know what? This person could be dangerous, potentially dangerous. Let's take his guns away. And then they do an investigation and they say, oh no, we screwed up. That's not right. That's not true. He's not a danger to himself. He's not a danger to anyone. So, all right, fine. Give him his guns back. That guy gets his guns back and then he goes and does something despicable. Now, how is that going to look on that police department? How is that going to look on the sheriff? How is that going to look on the government? Okay. Now, the bad deal on the person is, let's say that someone at some point reported you because you got angry and you went on a little rant and they said that you were unhinged or whatever. So the government comes in, takes away your guns, does an investigation on you to see if you're a danger to both you or yourself or to society. And they come back saying, oh yeah, you're not a danger here. Here's your guns back. That's already on that's already on the system. That's already on the system. That could be a red flag. That could screw you over in the long run if you want to get another gun in the future. If they pass any type of legislation. Okay, honestly, you cannot do that. But that's up to debate. I don't know. I really do not want to put my 2 cents here. I'm a very strong supporter of the Second Amendment. But it's a bad deal for both sides. Okay, the other thing that says mass shootings don't happen in Texas. Mass shootings don't happen in Texas? What? It happened, the one in the church in Texas. I think it was in Texas, right? And the guy stopped it with an AR-15. Mass shootings only occur with black market guns. One of the lawmakers says something very, very interesting. And he said, you know what? A lot of these shootings happen with people that have bought these guns the wrong way. Here in California, if you want to buy a gun off of a website, you have to go through a dealer. If you want to buy a gun at a gun show, you have to go through a dealer. If I want to buy the gun off of someone, let's say I have a cousin or an uncle or my father or whatever, I have to go through a dealer. If I get an inheritance, which includes weapons of any kind, guns, long rifles or shotguns or even antique guns, I have to go through the system. I have to go through a dealer. The dealer checks my background, forces me to wait 10 days, make sure that I have a permit to be able to buy a firearm. I have to go through the system. And then I receive my inheritance, or I buy a gun from a friend. I buy a gun online. I buy a gun on, one of those gun shows. All of that stuff. That's how it works out here in California. So that's what that lawmaker said. You know what? Most of these guns that are being used on this are being either bought on the black market or they're being bought the wrong way. And they need to look into that. So the other thing, it says he has no clue and the NRA must be freaking. So he said something else that was very interesting today. And again, we're going to be uploading this in just a few minutes, but he said something very, very interesting. And he said this to a Republican lawmaker, a very strong supporter of the Second Amendment. He's to his face. He said, why are you not putting legislation that says that if you want to buy a long gun, a rifle, a shotgun, or whatever, to be over 21 years of age? When you want to buy a handgun, you have to be over 21 years old. Why are you not putting legislation for you to be 21 and older to buy an AR-15, a shotgun, or whatever? And the person said, well, we don't have it on this legislation. And the president said, you don't have it on there because you're terrified of the NRA. To his face. I'm not lying. It's on tape. And we're going to be uploading in just a few minutes. I'm pretty sure right now the NRA are freaking out, folks. I'm pretty sure that right now a lot of gun owners are freaking out about this situation. He already said that he's going to do an executive order when it comes to bump stocks. He said, I don't care if lawmakers are not doing anything about bump stocks. I don't care if you guys are planning to do something about bump stocks. I'm doing something about bump stocks. We're going to completely ban them by executive order. No one can make them. No one can sell them. No one can trade them. No one can have them. It's very interesting stuff, folks. And that, you know, and the legislation is being, I mean, the executive order is being written as we speak. And this is going to be coming out soon, folks. Someone from a leftist publication, I think it was like New York Post or something like that, said something very interesting also yesterday. I read it yesterday, and it says that gun legislation seems to be working more rapidly to ban certain things or to put new legislation through under President Trump than it did under Obama. Under Obama, what it did was that it was like a scare tactic saying, you know what, we're going to go and, you know, Obama's going to come in and get your guns. So gun sales went through the roof. NRA subscriptions went through the roof. Then when it came into the election, 2016 election, saying, hey, you know what? Hillary Clinton's going to win. Oh my God, she's going to take away your guns. And what happened? NRA went through the roof. Gun sales went through the roof. Everything went through the roof. When President Trump took office, nobody was afraid that they were going to take away your guns. No one was afraid that they were going to take your gun rights away. So what happened? Gun sales went down. NRA subscriptions went down. But now all of this is popping up again, and NRA subscriptions going up. Gun sales are skyrocketing. I don't know what's happening. I really do not know what's happening. I want to see what you guys think about this. Why is it that gun legislation is going faster than it has before? Banning bump stocks. No respected gun enthusiast on YouTube is for bump stocks. No self-respecting gun enthusiast online is for bump stocks. A lot of people that I talk to that are NRA members and what's it called? They protect the Second Amendment. They cherish the Second Amendment. They say gun bump stocks are completely useless. There's no reason for them. But just because there's no reason for them, they should be banned. There's really any. There's no reason why they should be banned just because they're useless. We should still have them for the reason that just because they ban one thing, like a bump stock, later on, they're going to be banning stuff like pistol grips. Later on, they're going to be banning other things. Like here in California, they banned the bullet button because they think that it's easier for someone to change your magazine with a bullet button. In other places, you have a button, it releases the magazine, you're good to go, boom, really fast, In California, they banned that. They said, no, that's too dangerous. So they created something called a bullet button. Now the bullet button is banned here in California. And now they want to do it, submachine style, where you open it from, you open the gun from the top, you put in your magazine, it clips, it falls into the compartment below, then you close the gun back up, and then you start shooting. So you start banning one thing, like the bump stocks, and it's going to open the doors, it's going to open the floodgates to getting banned. You can't have this added to your gun, you can't modify your gun this way and that way and this way and that way. It's very dangerous, and I don't understand who is the one that is whispering in the president's ear, telling them that this is going to be a good idea. I don't understand it. Someone is whispering in the president's ear the wrong way, and this is just the beginning. When it comes to banning stuff, extra accessories that you can put on your gun. A lot of people, listen, like me, I have my AR-15, but I really don't have any modifications to the gun. And I believe that, in reality, yeah, some modifications are good for the gun. Makes it more accurate, makes it more, easy to maneuver. Probably, lowers the what's it called, the recoil or whatever. Or maybe it makes it look a little bit better, or maybe lighter and stuff like that. Yeah, there is some modification you can do to your gun. Are they necessary for the gun to work the way it was designed? No. I have a scope on it. That is basically what I think is, other than, a mag light, I think is the only other necessary thing. But should all of those other modifications be banned? No, none of those modifications should be banned. Because you ban one thing, later on, you're going to be banning everything. It's a very, very bad situation. All right, folks. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are new to this channel, subscribe and make sure you smack the like button. I hope you guys like these breaking news reports that I'm doing. I'm trying to, to be a little bit more on the microphone and try to work on the way that I come out and I talk about certain things and we cover stuff. So if you guys do like it, smack the like button. That'll be the best way to show me that you guys did enjoy it, that you guys did like our little coverage here. If you guys didn't, then smack the thumbs down button. That's cool. Like that also shows us if you guys like this report or not. Please share it on social media. Also, it helps out the channel a lot when you guys share this live stream, when you guys give it a thumbs up, when you guys show people about it. The more engaged you are in the comments section once it's published also helps out the channel. So make sure you guys give it a thumbs up and all that good stuff. So thank you very much for joining us. My name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. And let me just read real quick here what's going on. Chinese. What's going on here? Gun control will never end until we're completely defenseless. That's very true. That's very, very true. If you guys missed it, it will be published on the channel so you guys will be able to see it in full. I see that Brian Knight is here. I know that Brian Knight's a patriot. He loves the Second Amendment. Veteran. Very good mod, along with Carolyn Hall. I don't know if Carolyn is on the chat. But I respect Brian a lot. I know a lot of people love Brian. So, oh, Sayuri Blue 90. It says, Sayuri Blue 90 just joined us, I think. Sayuri Blue 90, also a patriot. Second Amendment, loving patriot. She knows how to shoot, which is good. Did I miss the whole thing? It says, why are we talking about gun bans when Hillary and Obama are still walking free? That's the same thing that the president is talking about. I don't know if you guys saw that the president was like slamming Jeff Sessions earlier today, and Jeff Sessions kind of came back and said, hey, you know what? We need to go through the process. There's really nothing I can do. I'm just, I'm following the law written by Congress and the Constitution. I'm just following it. And the president is very frustrated with Jeff Sessions. And Jeff Sessions just said, as long as I am Attorney General, I am going to follow the law the way it's written and the way allowed by Congress and also by the Constitution. So that's what he said. Colors says, I don't like the way President Trump is talking. I don't think it's just the way the president is talking. I think that he's being whispered in his ear by someone that is very influential on him, and he's not really doing enough research to back up what he's talking about. Okay? I really don't think that this is straightly coming from him. I think this is more coming from someone that is whispering in his ear, and we need to find out who that person is and fire him from the White House because he is being directed in the wrong direction. Wait, there's buffering on the chat? Oh, hold on. Yeah, all right, folks. So we're going to be shutting down for some reason. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be putting it on the chat.